Hi guys, it's Blackie and I'm back for the Percussion Revolver series. Now, this is a reshoot. I went out a few days ago and shot this video, and I was out at Bear's place and we had fighter jets and bombers over us doing some sort of tactical maneuver, and it was just roaring so loud and couldn't hear. So this is a reshoot, okay? Alright, what we're talking about is we're working a project with our new 51 Navy by Pieta, and I'm going through the steps that I'm going to be doing to bring this up ready for the field. Now, we've already talked about cleaning it. When you get it brand new out of the box, always clean it. Don't go out and just shoot it. There's a couple of different reasons. One, they put a heavy type of transport oil onto this stuff, and whenever you fire it, it's going to burn nasty with black powder, and you're going to end up with a hard tar-like fouling that you're going to have to just about chisel out of it in some cases. So always clean it really thoroughly before you go out and shoot it the first time. Also, and that's what we're going to deal with in this video, is always take the nipples out of the cylinder the first time before you fire it. So we're going to take out the wedge right there. We're going to take the cylinder off of it. This one has a really good tight arbor. Now, why we want to take those nipples out before we shoot it the first time. When they create this at the factory, they put something kind of like Loctite on them, and they put them in. Loctite is good to make sure it doesn't come out, but it is not ideal for use in a firearm like this in this type of environment, because once I start shooting this, and I've got, like, say, 100 rounds to this gun, and then I decide I want to take those nipples out, they're much harder to get out, because that Loctite does keep it from turning loose. But what it also doesn't do is it doesn't stop corrosion from wicking up in there around those threads. And after you fired it, and the concussion and the shock and the pressure has seated those in those threads that tight, it takes a lot of effort to break it loose. So pay yourself some dividends and break it loose. Now, every commercially produced nipple wrench that I've ever got, and I bought them from Dixie Gun Works, and I'm not picking on Dixie, but I bought them from Dixie Gun Works, I bought them from Birdie, I bought them from Track of the Wolf, I bought them from all kinds of places. Not a one of them was worth a damn. You bear down and you might get one nipple out, and then after that the lips roll and it's just useless. It's such soft pop metal. It's meant to look pretty to put into a case set, not really use. So I made my own, and you can too. Now what this is a 1/4 inch driver, okay? That end, that square on there, just like a 1/4 inch drive socket, but it's straight like a screwdriver, okay? This is a cheap, like $4, 5mm deep well socket that I got from AutoZone. They're Great Neck Series, I believe it's called, and you can get them there for cheap. Now, what I did is, you can see there's a notch in that very end right there. What I did to make this notch was I took a Dremel tool, and you get those small fiber cutting wheels, it's like a side grinder. And I figured out how wide I needed to be and be just a little bit under. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to take and put more than one disc onto the Dremel tool head. So I'll put, I think, 2 or 3, if memory serves, and then screw them down. They'll all fit together, nest together, and lock like it's one unit. And that thickens the width of how wide it cuts, see? And I wanted it slightly narrower than the nipple, okay? The shoulder on the nipple. Then I chucked this up really solidly into a vise, and holding that Dremel tool against something so I wouldn't do all this, I could come straight down with it. I set that spinning disc up there at slow and just let it start cutting straight down until I got the depth I wanted on this side. So it's cut through on both sides, and it's left this shoulder. So you've got kind of like that. 2 lips and a hole there. And what's going to happen is on the actual, we'll do it that way, on the actual shoulder of the nipple, it has 2 flat spots and then 2 wide spots. So that will come down like that. See how my hand does? That's how it does and locks to it. So once I got it close, then I could take a file and finish it up, small file, and get it to where it would just snugly slide down and lock onto a nipple. I made this one probably 8-9 years ago. They work just fine, and so for like $5 in an afternoon tinkering, you can make you a really good one. Next, since that's been put in, kind of torqued in with a little bit of Loctite, you're going to have to break it loose. Now what I recommend you do is get something that's got a little bit of a grip to it, something like a mouse pad or something like that, or even, you know, a silicone glove or something that I can get a little grip on. Okay, I don't want something really slick underneath it. Now I want to put it onto a solid surface. Now once I put it up there, and I've made sure that my nipple wrench, whatever kind of nipple wrench you get, fits onto it. I want to grip it really tight in the hand. Get up there, get a good fist on it now. Push straight down. That's the reason I like a straight drive. Yes, you could do it with a ratchet, but I think the straight drive is the way to go. Push hard. I mean, do like this. Tuck up under you. Push straight down, put your body weight on it, and then turn. And you'll hear a, like that, and it'll start coming out. Now once you've unscrewed that nipple out of there, while we're doing this, you want to take, since the nipple comes out, you're going to clean off the threads, screw it in and out like 2 or 3 times to make sure that Loctite that's still in the thread goes on out and falls out. Then you want to go, remember I said you could get this combination, buy this and this at a auto parts store for automotives. Again, that's a 5mm deep well socket, and that's just a 1/4 inch driver. The whole thing will probably set you back like $8, maybe 9. And while you're there, pick up some of this. Now what this is anti-seize lubricant. Okay? In automotives, spark plugs that are screwing into an aluminum head have to have anti-seize, and it's a good idea to put it on all the spark plugs. I use this stuff to go into the lawnmower, the chainsaw, anything where I'm screwing a spark plug into something, I put anti-seize on it. And what it does is this will hold it, this will seal it, and it'll also make it where you can bring it back out later. That's the idea of it, because the firing of this gun and the heat and the pressure and the corrosion that could possibly migrate in can rust weld that nipple into that cylinder. And then you got to use heat and a whole lot of pressure, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to break the nipple off, and then you got a whole new set of problems. So to avoid all that, this stuff, okay, I think this was like 50 cents or something like that. It doesn't go bad, and I've been using this one for a couple of years, and I just got a corner up here tore loose, and I'll squeeze just a itty bit and then sit there and turn the threads of the nipple into it. Then I'll screw it back in. Now what that's going to do is pay dividends to me. 1, from now, 5 years from now, whatever, I should be able to get that out of there, because that anti-seize will keep it from rust welding. 2, that lubricant is designed to go into an engine, a car engine, that kind of heat expansion and everything. So it's not going to let the nipple and the cylinder rust weld together. So I should be able to get it out. Not telling you won't have to bear down again and twist, but at the same time it won't come loose on its own. So you're not going to be shooting this and that nipple come loose. As long as you put, just hand tight on there, it'll be fine. Whenever I am shooting this gun a lot, let's say that like now we're doing all kinds of projects with it and we're getting ready to get it where I can sight it in and find the best load, all that stuff. I'm going to be shooting this a lot. And so I'm not going to take them nipples out whenever I am cleaning it, because I'm going to be shooting it in a day or 2. You know, this weekend when I'm off or what, I'm going to be shooting it some more. But let's say I'm done and I'm going to be putting this up in the gun safe, and I don't know when in the foreseeable future I'm going to be pulling this back out. I'm going to pull them, I'm going to do a full detail cleaning, and I'm going to pull them nipples out. I'm going to make sure they're good and clean, and I'm going to put some more anti-seize, and I'm going to put it back in before I put it up for long-term storage. That way I can always get them out later on. I've got guns that I've had 15 years, and I can take the nipples out in 5 minutes. No problem, because I've always used anti-seize. At the same time, I've got my original Navy Arms old Johnny Reb that's a 44 caliber that I got in the 1970s. Forget it. You're never, ever, ever. I gave up in the 90s trying to get those out because I didn't use anti-seize. And it just finally, forget it. It's rust welded. They're one piece of metal, and all I'm going to do is break it off. And so out of nostalgia, I don't mess with that gun anymore. It's retired. It's earned its place in the gun safe. But to recap, when you get the gun new, clean it thoroughly. I know you're excited. I'm excited. I'm going to go shoot it. I know. Clean it first. Get all that packing oil and grease out of it. Besides, especially when you take the action apart. Don't know how to take the action apart? Go look in my playlist, and I've got detailed of fully breaking down every one of these models, you know, and showing you how to take one apart, clean it, detail it. Go ahead and do that. See if there's some big burr that's just obvious that you need to go ahead and take care of. But in defense, the modern guns like this Pieta, the finish, the fit, and everything is 10 times better than it was, say, 20 years ago. And I would put it on par with any of the Colts, you know, any of the reissue Colts, in pure colors and everything. Today's the day to get them. Their quality is much, much higher than they used to be. And clean it thoroughly, get it ready, get the nipples out, add anti-seize to them, get everything ready to go, and then let's make a few modifications and stuff and go shooting. So the next video that's going to be coming up on this is we're going to get it ready to take to the field for the first sighting in test shooting. So I'm going to deepen that notch, open that notch up just a little bit on the rear sight to get a better sight picture. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to take the action apart, and I'm going to feel for any burrs or whatever. We're going to do this on camera, and we're going to do a lot. It's not really a tuning, but just to make sure there isn't any burr or something's going to hang us up. We want the gun to function correctly and not be overdone. It's very common with these replicas that the trigger spring is way over tightened in them. They just come from the factory that way. You back it off, and we'll talk about that. But that'll be coming in the next video in the Percussion Revolver series, which should be about a week. I'm going to try to do these and post these on Saturdays. Don't hold me to the fire, but I'm going to try. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. If you have, hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.